All right, so we are live with the final draw. So I'm gonna quit saying Friday's final draw because I had a really an amazing meeting with some I don't know some very knowledgeable people, and they were like, "That's not necessary." And you know what? There's one thing that I believe in is real estate, and how do you use real estate is definitely important. I mean, you can definitely see people who use real estate to be able to explain something, and it doesn't tell anything about who they are or what they do. And so that's almost like something that, and you know what? I think I have a funny joke for that actually right now. But you know what? If I'm gonna tell that joke, it wouldn't be as hilarious if I didn't have my co-host actually join me with me. So let me just like bring him on. Okay, so first of all, let me just try to see. Okay, this is a hilarious move. So all right, so let me see. Yep, I can't even do this. Okay, so here goes everybody that we're having on tonight, and now I'm going to remove from stream because I'm still learning a lot of this. But I'm gonna add Chevalier, dude. Okay, Chevalier.
What
I
up?
had a
Hey, buddy. I feel
super
a joke coming on. I feel a joke coming on. What's happening?
a
Oh,
joke or like it's like okay. So I'm a big person of really. I'm an analyst, and then also when it comes to like this makes sense, like kind of like a Parkway the Driveway kind of thing.
yeah.
But I go way deeper than probably anybody else should. But okay, so this was hilarious. So actually, I was watching, Chick-fil-A. Big fan of Chick-fil-A, right? Who is not? And also not just a big fan of the way that it tastes, because I actually can't eat half of it. I can only eat the fries because they're gluten free. But the other part is that the way that they get through their lines. I mean, you have to be amazed. If you're not amazed, you apparently don't own a business.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? They're huge, and the way that they can just make things happen is by far incredible and very impressive. So, but then I drove, I'm out in kind of the country, not quite east, like I'm from Tennessee, so I get the Tennessee country part, but so I'm in Tennessee, or not in Tennessee, but I'm just in Florida and from Tennessee, but I actually drove by and there's this black and white cow plus a duck, plus a goat, plus a something else that was just like that looks like it came straight from the storybook. Are you kidding me? I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire life. But here I am looking at this and I'm going, wait. My friend actually makes bourbon and breeds cows, but all the cows are black. So I'm looking at this black and white cow and I'm like, well, why does Chick fil A always have a black and white cow? And then the cows that we actually get beef and sirloins and steaks and everything from are usually brown or black. I learned that those are milking cows and these are beef cows. Okay, so then I'm sorry, but my joke was, well, I don't know. I'm not as good as Rich Myberg. Rich Myberg, you want to hear a good joke? Rich Myberg on the Professor Show. You guys are going to love that. But this was just an epiphany of what? So you're saying that their whole marketing program, you can't have black and white cows because we don't even eat those cows. Those cows should be grateful because we're not even going to be eating you. We're just milking you for your, which is hilarious because we're milking you for your goods. Am I the only one
Mel.
that, I know, I'm
Mel.
terrible.
Look, you cannot tell a joke and be overly analytical about the joke, man. You gotta hit
No,
the joke, man.
that's why I said I can't, this is not a joke. This is just a discussion. Like, are you
Jeez.
serious?
You gotta look. You know what? On that note, happy for Wednesday Friday, everybody. Mel's telling
Oh,
overly
snap.
analytical jokes. Happy for Wednesday Friday, everybody, and welcome to the final draw with Melody
Oh
Cisco
my
and
God.
me, Chevalier. How y'all doing this weekend? It's Friday, baby.
It's a true story, though.
It is a true story. I am familiar that there are
But
milking cows and
why?
there are beef cows. It just is what it is. I'm from Indiana, so we have cows everywhere. We have cows and corn, the two major seeds in agriculture and livestock, and we have cows and corn everywhere. So,
I
I do
really
get
had
it,
no
but I
idea.
don't get it. Yeah, yeah, great joke.
It
I
almost
was
feels
sitting there.
like they don't know enough about cows because they're Chick-fil-A. Does anybody else get the joke? Dun dun dun. Sorry.
No, that wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. You can't have an overly analytical joke, Will.
Come on, that was pretty hilarious because it's over analytical. Listen,
Yeah.
if dads can tell jokes, then an over analyst. I
Not
mean,
like
I
not
am an
man, not
am
like
I
a dad. It's
okay.
not like a
Let me
dad
just
joke.
you know what? Then let me just move my shirt so that you guys can all like there you go. Now I need to laugh at my joke. All right.
Now I can say happy for Day Friday again.
Now you can laugh at my joke. It's like,
Ah!
okay. All right, I'm out
No.
of control. Okay,
Yeah,
now
you are.
we're
Come
gonna get
on.
back to subject. Listen, I am super very, very grateful, first of all, and very, very excited about the guests that we have on tonight. Um, they have it took me a while to find them, but also I'm so grateful to have found them and they have done some amazing work that I don't even think that any of us could have imagined actually creating the community or the situation. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to give it away. Because when everybody hears like a cigar club, that's so, I feel like it's a kind of a cliche word, but when I say cigar club, this is one of, not just a cigar club of them being the honor or the one that is praised or an influencer even, sometimes influencers can probably create a club, but it's like, are we the ones that they're actually after? It's almost like a community that they have just influenced to the point of it has been grown, and even you have different chapters, so many chapters across the world that are just incredible and create another sense of humanity. And I hate to say that even too, but it really is. Cigars can create so much love. Hello, Diab. Art, man, there's so many people joining tonight. Love you guys. It's just a point of how much work are you going to put into this? And it's not easy. You don't come into cigars just thinking that, oh, it's cigars, everybody's gonna love me. Or, I mean, I might have thought that, don't get me wrong, but I have to work out really hard. So yeah, it doesn't work out that easy. You're not finding me funny. Come on, co-host, help me out here.
I'm listening. Cause you know what? You know what? I actually do find you very funny 98% of the time. Because 98% of the time you don't tell overly analytical jokes. Very
I know
rarely
you're
do you
right.
tell overly analytical
He's
jokes.
totally turned
I
off by
get
that
them.
joke.
I get them, but I just like
Such a nerd. You have no idea how
I'm,
bad I can tell
I
jokes.
do know you can have nerdy moments because
Yeah,
I get to be on the inside, so I get
that
to
was my nerdy moment.
catch those nerdy moments that some of these guys that come on the show don't get to see. I get to see the nerdy moments with you, but they're cool though. It all balances out. It's a balancing act. That's why when you get nerdy, I just look and go, "Happy Day Friday, everybody! Happy
And
Day Friday!"
that's why I picked you to be my co-host. You know
Right
what
on.
though? Before we invite our super amazing guest on, which I'm super grateful on, I want to really quickly just stop on the topic that you had this week with your new Instagram show. Do you want to tell them
Ah,
the
yes.
name of the show, and then where they can find you? That would be awesome.
Well, my new show is on Instagram. It's called Conversations with Chevalier, where it's a cigar talk show, and it's where we you know smoke the cigar, sip the whiskey, sing to the music, and savor the cuisine. That's known as the Chevalier lifestyle. It's a cultural vibe. And on the show, we have conversations over cigars. So everything's not always about strictly cigars. A lot of it may be conversations on various topics of interest that people may want to. I get a lot of I get a lot of messages all the time. I do a few posts daily on my Instagram page, Chevalier Life. One is called Thoughts of a Classic Man, where I give out a little wisdom and motivation every morning, and then I do the cigar track of the day, which brings a lot of people. That's I think a lot of people love it because it's early in the morning, and so it was a
Hmm.
natural progression to go to conversations with Chevalier based on a lot of the comments I get. And it was a dream of mine. The concept is just to have conversation over cigars for an hour, and you were my first guest on Wednesday night. It's going to air on Wednesday nights at 7. Mel was an amazing first guest. You came on and we talked about your favorite smoke, your favorite drink, your favorite food, and your favorite music, and then we had a great conversation about you as a digital creator and cigar lifestyle influencer. And we're going to be covering all types of topics. There's so many things that we can talk about. Everything from uh, masculine vulnerability to music to great food. We're going to talk about a vast array of topics, and we're going to talk about the cigar lifestyle and the culture that we all love. So it was really my pleasure. It was really a dream of mine to start the show, and it was an amazing. You guys can follow me. It's at Chevalier Life uh, on Instagram, and and check out my
Yep.
website too, chevalierlife.com, where we sell personalized humidors, cigar accessories, and apparel. I've got one of my shirts on. This is the vintage lid shirt. It looks like a very old shirt, but it's got a gentleman, me, on the picture there. and that's what I do. So check out chevalierlife.com. Mel has it in the ticker at the back of the page where you can check out my products. And then on Instagram, it's at Chevalier Life. And follow me. And we've got great content there. And just looking forward to doing my little part to enhance the cigar culture. So thank you.
And we thank you too, because that was an amazing show. So if you guys were not able to catch it, it was awesome. So check out Chevalier Life on Instagram. So that way you can actually be able to join those IG lives. And I think IG lives are so important. So here's why I say that, because you can go to Chevalier. Is it Chevalier like dash life though on
It's
Instagram?
Chevalier underscore life
Yeah,
on
okay.
Instagram.
So all right, so go to Chevalier underscore life on Instagram, and then that way you can go to the bell, hit the bell, be able to be notified anytime that he goes live. And he has great lives with even on his Wednesday night show and also on Tuesday nights with Ray at the Herfador, right?
Right, we have the lounge every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. It's myself and at Ray True Life, my brother down in Houston, and we have a various group of guests. I like to say a vast array of people in the cigar culture from all walks of the cigar culture. And on that show, the premise is just it's like a lounge. We call it the lounge, and it's like being in a lounge. A lot of things go down in the lounge. There's great topics. People can be open and talk about whatever they want to talk about. We usually talk current events. We talk cigars, of course, because it's a cigar talk show, but we deal with a lot of issues from, again, mental issues to social issues. We talk about a lot of stuff, and we allow guests to in the comments, of course, and then we'll bring someone on that may have something that we want to talk about. It's a very unscripted um, show. The show is supposed to be an hour every Tuesday. Mel can tell you a lot of times we stay on until Instagram kicks us off. We've done 13 episodes, and every Tuesday night, it's just more and more people. We've had everyone from cigar rock star to just anybody that you can name in the cigar culture. Housewife of Clarksville. We've had all kind of people to come on and share their views or bring about topics, and we like to highlight different events that are going on in the culture as well. So It's a fun show. If you have time, check us out Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central on Instagram. You can follow me, Chevalier Life, and follow at Ray True Life, the Herfador, and come on and check us out. It's a great time. You won't be disappointed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so you know what? Without further ado, let's just invite these amazing people on who have definitely
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to
given.
these guys.
Right. All right, so we're going to do this. Wait, let me. Yeah, this is. I'm still learning all this stuff, especially while I'm like doing all of it. But all right, so you guys, we have the Ash Hole Cigar Club. So I want to bring on the founding member first. So we got Dion or Deonce D, as they all call him. So D Evans, you are the founding member, but I know you have two amazing partners that you never want to leave out, which I think is so just memorable. And what's the word I'm saying, like it's, I love seeing people who actually appreciate the people that brought them there, because we lift each other up to be able to get anywhere that we go. So I love that about you. So you know what, I'm not even gonna like leave them out. I'm gonna bring them on, everybody. And then of course my co-host, I gotta bring him in too. So we're all gonna be here. So here we are. I love
What's
it.
going
Let's
on,
see what
fellas?
happens.
Well,
All
Hey,
well,
how's it going?
All
all
right,
right.
all right.
Hello,
right,
hello,
so you guys,
hello.
yes. All right, so you guys, we do have, this is the Ashhole Cigar Club founding members. So we've got D Evans, we've got Chico, and we also have Jay Stone. And these
Wow.
are the guys. So D Evans is apparently the one that had the, I want to call, I mean, I'm sorry. I like to make fun a little bit. So give me a break. I'm like, he had the wild idea to be like, you know what? I don't like this club. I'm gonna go create my own club. And to tell you the truth, it's men like that that actually really, really get a lot of things done, And so I think it takes a wild heart. It takes a lot of confidence. It takes, a lot of perseverance too, because you could try it, but then you may not be able to accomplish it. So thank you for doing that. But at the same time, he had two amazing people behind him that were partners, and they have definitely brought these things together. So I'm excited to see you guys. And you guys were just on the Professor Show. If you guys don't know the Professor Show, be sure to go check out
Excellent.
yes, facebook.com/the professor show, also tinyurl.com/the professor show. But yes, I'm gonna put you guys all up together so that you guys are up here and we're down here. So there you go. You got D Evans in the middle, and then you got Chico and Jay Stone. But Jay, I mean, it, i'm I'm like, I gotta go back to the professor show to figure out what your first name is, which I'm okay with that. You know what, you leave me with that. That's
I'll,
trivia right now.
I'll leave you.
He's
So,
very
fellas,
mysterious.
It's
He's very mysterious. If you
not,
didn't catch that from the other show, he's super mysterious.
I'm a
I
hoot,
miss
so there
I
you go.
missed that show, man, because I was in Austin. I had to move my son to Austin this weekend. He graduated from college and started his career, thank
Brad.
God. And so
That's awesome.
I was on the freeway traveling, but I really wanted to see this show. I always wanted to know who the founding fathers of the Ashhole dynasty, because that's truly what that is. It's a dynasty.
Thank you.
And I wanted to really just I wanted to get the opportunity to see who the visionaries, because you guys can only be seen as visionaries as it relates to Ashhole. You have Ashholes in every corner of the world. How did you
Yeah,
get there? How did you get there?
Oh man. First, can you guys hear me well?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Okay. Uh, to be honest with you, I think it had a lot to do with luck. To be honest with you, to be able to reach this many people with just a simple idea, and that's all it was in the beginning, was just an idea. There was no real way of gauging and or even being able to tell if it was even going to be a viable idea to even expand. Our goal was to basically just stay here in Arizona and just have a club here in Arizona where all the guys can just get together, have events, do charitable events, and just hang out with each other. Um, and unfortunately, things changed early on in the early stages of the club, where a majority of the members just kind of fell by the wayside. So um, I don't know. It's hard. I'm not one of those guys that like to sit around and just talk about myself and talk about some of the things that I've accomplished. It feels weird to me.
I understand
Uh,
that. I understand that.
it's weird. It's weird. But I'm very grateful. I'm thankful for James and Chico for sticking by my side and helped me along with this journey because it's definitely been
Oh my
a point
gosh.
right now.
So what was your first steps? You start this club, you start the initial club in Arizona, and you get it going. Did you even imagine when you started the first club and you first initially got your group together? Was it ever in the plan to try to grow and expand the way that you guys did, or was it just mainly focusing on the cigar culture right there in Arizona and just seeing where it goes from there? How did you like? It's because it's an amazing journey. It's gotta be, man. Because again, I see asshole everywhere I go. So
All right.
how did you get from how did you go from one club to two? Like, what was that like?
Um, I had no idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea that it was going to get to this point.
I did.
Chico was the
I
one
told him
that
it was
actually
going to.
told me that it was going to turn into a monster, and I was like, nobody knows who we are. There's other clubs that's been in existence much longer than we have. They have more of a following than us. And when we decided to branch out to different states, we just kind of put a post out there, and I think it was on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, on our Facebook page. And we put a post out there, and the post was like, looking to start chapters in different states. And the very first chapter that actually came on board was New York.
Wow.
After New York, then it just started spreading all the way back west. It took out the whole East Coast, and it just started spreading from the Midwest all the way to the West. Of a lot of just various people that just wanted to start their own chapter. Um, the one good thing about Asheville Cigar Club compared to the other clubs is that we we are allowing all the other chapter presidents to basically use our logo to make up their own products to sell, and that money can stay within their chapter. So when they want to put on an
Oh, that's
event or if they
great.
want to do charitable events, they don't have to worry about coming out of their own pocket. They actually have the option of selling merchandise and making their own money. And we don't charge them for that, because we understand that this is a family.
Right.
And it's slowly turning into a business, but we definitely wanted everybody to be able to benefit from it, especially when Asho actually became a brand. And it became a brand by 2020, if I'm not mistaken. That's when it actually became an actual monster.
Wow. So D, you said that Chico knew what was happening. So Chico, how did you know so early in the game that it was gonna get to where it is, man?
Well, when D gave me the concept, because I mean, let's back it up. We were all members of other clubs, and the clubs you didn't know members until you dressed up and went to an event, and maybe you knew two guys. Presidents didn't know members. Members didn't know presidents. You didn't know the national chapter. I almost thought it was some secret society, and you wasn't supposed to know anybody. We sat in a lounge here in Arizona in the Awatuki area, and we sat with each other. And D was like, "We get along. We care for each other like brothers." And that's what we were. We were an impromptu family. We joked together, we played together, we talked about one another, but you couldn't talk about us. So
Right.
me and D could joke with each other, me and Stone could joke with each other, and all the other members. But if you picked on one of us and you were outside that circle, you took on the monster, and we can't play.
Hey,
Not to
that's street
mention,
rules.
and
Right.
if
That ain't
anybody needed
crazy.
something, if I have it, then you got it. And that was the idea. And when he said, "Why does a club have to be a club? Why can't it be a family?" And I told him that doesn't exist. And he goes, well, why doesn't it exist? And the minute he put the groundwork for that together, I told him, get ready, because it's gonna be a monster. Nobody's gonna care about us. Nobody's gonna give a thing. We actually went to an event to another local cigar lounge, and all we had were T-shirts on, and the name grabs you. Let's start
Yep.
there. The name grabs you,
Right.
and then after that,
Absolutely.
you watch how the members care for one another. People bringing sticks to one another before you even sit down. People have ordered drinks for one another before everybody got there. We're holding seats for people, and they started realizing that we cared for each other. And then everybody wanted to find their way into it. And that's when I told him, get ready. It's going to be a monster. And we haven't even grown to the point that I expect. And I expect
Wow.
it
What
to
year
be
was
bigger.
that?
I want
That
to say it
was
was about 8 years
yeah,
back, 8 or 9 years
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Wow. So,
2016.
all right. So you guys have been working on this for a long time, and that's a lot. So then how did you actually decide to? And I feel like you're not doing this, just there's obviously there's got to be a lot of charity profit. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things, a lot of moving, objects that are going on behind this whole thing. So it's not just you guys just being like, hey, I want people to hear me or do this or do that. So how did you guys actually decide, which chapters are going to be created and who's going to run these chapters and maybe even who's going to be in the groups and stuff?
Well, it started. Let me see how I can say this because it's real weird how it all went about. Um, After I made the post on Facebook as far as looking for chapters, I knew that there was a better way of actually being able to bring people in where uh, you can actually check people out. So that's why we came up with the online form.
Okay.
And at that time, we'll probably get two or three requests a day of somebody wanting to join the chapter. And we let them know like there's no way of starting a chapter, or you can't belong to a chapter if a chapter is not available in your city and state. So that's the first thing. And so when we told them that there's no chapter in your state, would you be willing to become the president? And they said, well, what's all required for me to be a president to start a chapter. We send them over the guidelines and some of the requirements in order to become a chapter president. And it was totally up to them if it's something that they agreed on. We had some guys be like, no, I just want to be belong to the chapter. I don't want to have no responsibility. And it took probably about a year or 2 years for it to start really building up, where people started catching on to it and started becoming chapter presidents. And then that's how it all pretty much started exploding, just off of just the online requests.
So what
So
was your reaction whenever you actually started to see people that were understanding how important having a club was to either the community or just, I mean, because in my opinion, the guys that I have met, that are part of the Asheville Cigar Club that are, you know, I I had to actually, it almost took me a month to be able to get in touch with you guys, right? And I just was, it wasn't about me being annoyed. It was actually being enamored. I was like, wow, this is a huge club after going through all these guys, understanding where they all are. I mean, I've only been in the game for 2 years. So understanding that you guys have been in here since 2016 is a huge deal. So understanding that, and then also thinking about what I experienced. So what was it like for you to be, you know, thinking, oh my God, these guys are actually really wanting to host their own, you know, I guess, chapter in their own city. And then also they do a lot of, you know, charity work and everything. I mean, they create their all kinds of events just by themselves, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cigars are it's a family by itself. The cigar
yeah,
industry
exactly.
is large, but it's still small at the same time, where damn near everybody know each other. Um, the fact that they actually had an opportunity to run their chapter the way that they see fit, as long as they stood in between the guidelines, they basically could do whatever they want. So the number one response that we were getting from a lot of people is that, hey, I belong to so and so, and all we are is just members. We very seldom get together. We all have coins, and but that's about as far as it goes. And but once they seen that they actually had an option of doing a lot more with Asheville Cigar Club, that's when they really started getting on board. And also that we were not charging them to actually use our logo. That's a huge
Wow,
surprise.
that's
We get that
huge.
from a lot of business. It is because we get a lot of business owners saying that why come you guys are not charging for these people to actually use your trademark logo? And I tell them it's bigger than that. What we have planned is so much bigger than us charging our members a fee to actually use our brand. We want them to be able to succeed, and it's hard. I'm an entrepreneur. I've owned multiple businesses, so I understand what it takes to build a business from the ground up. It's a lot
Yeah.
of legwork. There's going to be a lot of no's. There's going to be a lot of doors just shut in your face. So, what better way to give these chapters a leg up by giving them everything that they need to
Right.
succeed? And that's basically using our logo free of charge. So they don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for anything. Even when they come on as chapter presidents, no charge whatsoever. No monthly charge, no fees, no club fees, no dues, none of that. And that's just giving them a better chance to succeed. And I think that that right there is huge. That is huge, and that's why a lot of people have been wanting to come on board because uh, just because I'm the one that started the club, it doesn't mean that what I say is the Bible. Um,
Yeah.
Everybody has a great idea, and a lot of these members, everything that you see that's going on now, is come from a lot of the members. One in particular is our Ohio chapter. Brian out there, he's the chapter
Yep.
president
That's how
of
I found you.
Ohio. Brian is freaking awesome. His chapter alone have raised over $30,000 in charitable funds. He is awesome, and he is a whiz when it comes to that. And that's when I have to take a step back and be like, okay, he's winning. We have to give him the floor and let him do what he does best.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that with a lot of large organizations where they go wrong because sometimes people, you know, everybody wants to be a chief, nobody wants to be an Indian sometimes. And then, you don't recognize the talents of the people that you trust to represent your organization. And when you do that, it's a big mistake, man. And it sounds like you guys have got that down, you got that down to a science almost. And it's evident, by your growth from what I've seen. And I've met one or two people from Asheville. There's the young lady in Oklahoma.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
always forget how to say her name, but is it? I won't want to butcher it. I butcher names because I'm old. But but
Don't butcher it.
and then I met a young lady, Tasha, that moved here to Dallas recently, and I've
Madam
gotten to know
President.
Tasha. Yes, the
President.
president. I've gotten
Yes.
Tasha and
Okay.
I.
President.
Tasha and I are really good friends. We
Very.
met for the first time face to face at Texas Cigar Week Austin, but she and a good friend of mine, David, are really good friends, and now we've all become friends. Man, Tasha is an amazing, amazing person, man, and she represents Ashhole. And she talked to me one time, and she was, she's so excited about the brand, and it's just a testament to what you guys have built, man. It's truly amazing. But
Well,
that being said, I want to ask you guys a question. So you've built this culture within the cigar culture, right? How do you feel about because over the last, say, 8 years, 8 to 10 years, there's been a major shift in the cigar culture. I mean, you've got all types of people coming in. Everybody's running with it. They're deeply involved. It hasn't always been that way. It's always been seen as the playground for the wealthy or the businessman. Now it's truly about leisure for everyone and women. How do you guys feel about that? And how do you feel that Ashhole contributes to that?
We as a family like to empower. each and every chapter, each and every member do what they want to do to make this family grow. That was the brainchild behind it all. We wanted to empower people. We wanted to bring people together, and damn it, let's have some fun doing it.
Right.
Those were the key issues that we took upon each of us to ensure that that would happen. And as you said earlier, grown, and that's the beauty of it. During the professor, I spoke to, you know, this has been a dream of ours, and to watch this dream grow the way it has, we're just thankful to all our chapters, all our members, and to you as well.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's definitely been inspiration for me. Mel, like Mel told you about her, she's been in the cigar lifestyle 2 years. I just hit a year. So for me to even be here in this forum right now and have the ability, thank you to Mel and Carlito for
I'm
having
not
me
gonna
here. But
lie though. I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you because I feel like I keep saying 2 years, and I'm like, does that just mean I'm getting old? And I just keep saying 2 years over and over again. All right, I'm gonna leave you alone now.
that's
Sorry.
all right. That's all right. But what I
Not
was going
getting
to
old. Not
say,
getting old. Aged,
it,
aged. Not getting old.
hey, season. That's the word. That's the
Season.
word
There
we're
you
gonna go
go.
with. Season. We're gonna go with season. But for me, I started Chevalier Life last July,
Okay.
just off the cuff, man, with about 3 weeks of notice. Just I decided, throwing caution to the wind. I love cigars. Let me just see what I can do. And I made a couple personalized humidors and got some accessories together, maybe a display, and started going out and vending. And that was it. And the only real uh, advertisement I did was just what I do on my Instagram page. And to see my growth and not pat myself on the back because it's all been luck and by chance that, like Mel, I met Mel by chance on a live with a guy named Fitzgerald Gaston, the cigar boss,
Hmm.
1965. And we were going
Hmm.
live one night. We were drinking Angels and Envy and talking shit, and Mel jumped on there with us. And some kind of way, me and Mel kept in touch. And my page started to grow. And she hit me up one day and say, "Hey, I would love for you to come on my show." And it just took off from there. So, by chance, a lot of things have happened. But when I look at you guys, man, it hasn't been just by happenstance. Seems like it's been through strategic planning and a lot of
Hard work.
direction, focused hard work, excuse me, and direction, man. And it's amazing to me. And you guys take a look at chevalierlife.com. Tell me what you think. I want to use you guys. I want to be a sponge of knowledge, man, because you guys have inspired me. And I've heard so many things about you guys. Never knew who you are. And I'm going to be honest with you because I'm a straight shooter. I never even knew you guys were black. And so
Ah,
I had no idea. And I know a few people in the Arizona area, and I never asked the question. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people in the cigar world, maybe not because I'm new. They may have known that or not known. It really doesn't make a difference. But for me to see this type of growth, anybody can do it. But it made it extra special for me when I saw these are some brothers that got out here and defied the odds. Because let's just keep it 100. The cigar culture a long time ago wasn't
us.
always about that. And so now I feel like we have the not only opportunity but the responsibility to help it be everything that it can be. And you've got people of color, especially you've got women with the SOTL global movement, which is growing by leaps and bounds, man. You guys have set a model out there that is pretty damn impressive, brother. I
Thank you.
just want to give you your roses just in case I don't get a chance to talk to y'all in the near future.
You
You guys
Oh,
are pretty damn impressive, brother.
shall, and thank
thank
you.
you, thank you. Yeah,
Well, it was like you said. It was a lot of thought and planning. D didn't even want to take it to any kind of form of media until we chewed it, thought about the positives, how would we attack the negatives, leave room for growth. But and we've all been in business for quite some time. And the idea is when you find the niche, when you find the need and it's not there, that helps springboard you up. And the rest of it is hard work. definitely. But how many clubs out there do you see treat their members as family? And this is not me putting anybody down. I'm just saying what's missing. How many clubs out there do not try to gain from their members? We have business ideas away from this that is in the tobacco world. We're not trying to bleed our members of money. We want to help them figure out how to promote their separate chapters so they can go to the Big Smoke, so they can go to Havana, so they can go and do whatever they want. How many clubs sit out there? How many clubs are family to their members? We don't take
Yeah.
a dime. We want them to grow. And D is being kind of kind on the fact that when we started, we were pretty thorough on looking at anybody that touched us. We combed your social media. We combed your internet presence. We tried to find out who you were because we want to fit you just as well as you fit us. It's a two-way
Right.
Mhm.
street.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
And
you know,
and
and
also okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chico. Uh, we all know that business change real quick, and unfortunately we're living in a time right now where you're starting to see a lot of old businesses that's going out of business. And that's because they were satisfied with status quo. A lot of these businesses, they were not trying to stay with current times. They were happy and they were satisfied with the way things were going. And then all of a sudden, when companies like Amazon come up, they just totally just take everybody by surprise. Myself, I am very vigilant about staying with current times and trying to make sure that we are always going to be on the forefront. I'm 42 years old, so I'm kind of like in between the millennials and the Gen X. You know, I believe in old business practices, but I believe in actually giving the newer generation a voice instead of them. You know, it's just like working for a company and you have so many great ideas on how to make the company run a lot more smoothly.
Mhm.
But your boss or the owners, they don't want to hear anything from you. You know, your job is to come to work, be an obedient servant, and that's it. We're living in different times right now where
Right.
so many people have great ideas, and it's time to let these people grow with the company. Instead of just being an obedient servant, you have a voice, and that's what everybody want. Everybody want a voice. Why am I going to go to a job every single day where nobody gives a damn about me? I'm just here, just showing up, and they can replace me just like that. those
Exactly.
those days are over. Those old business practices and those old ways of handling the
Yeah.
business is over with. And that's what I'm so adamant about. If we are not staying with current times, we might as well just go ahead and call it quits because there's somebody else that's hungrier than me that's trying to figure out a better way that's going to come up and do something better than I am. So this is why I'm only getting 4 hours of sleep a night. This is why I'm constantly working. This is why I'm always trying to give everybody a better chance than what they had when they first came to us.
Wow.
Said,
Wow.
And bless your heart for that,
well
because
said.
that is absolutely what we need to see for sure.
I definitely
Especially with
relate to
women.
that 3 hours of sleep a night. I can relate to that. 3 4 hours of sleep a night. That's me all day long, man.
Yeah,
anybody
that's
in
it, man.
business and there's the sole business part of it. I mean, until it takes off, you are the business. So there is no sleep.
Mhm.
So anyone in that understands.
And that's what we try.
Wow.
We try to we we are constantly thinking on different things to make our family grow. That
Well,
that
I
that's what's on the forefront. Get into
yeah, and
who you are.
I can't imagine the amount of sleep that you actually are getting now after what you've produced. Like that's kind of where I'm like, oh my goodness, it must be even less sleep. But you guys have chapters, so you often find people that can run these different areas. So what's the strategy, or how do you vet these guys and tell, make sure that they're going to be able to do this? Do they have to produce a certain number of events, or do you guys have charities that obviously you do? How do you be able to organize all of this?
We want everybody to basically operate at their own pace. I'm not the type of person that just want to give you 100% structure because if I give you a task, Melanie, if I give you a task that's really out of your comfort zone, you're not going to be the best producer of it. You're going to be able to
Right.
give me a product, but is it going to be your best product ever. No. So we try to let people operate at their own pace. Um, there's chapters that are doing excellent, and there's some chapters that's trying to catch up, and that's okay. We're not faulting them. We're not trying to tell them what they need to do. We're letting everybody operate at their own pace, at their own comfortable pace, because this is something that's not. We're not looking to make this the best right now. We understand that it's going to take some time, and
Hmm.
we all. I mean, we just like to let people just do their own thing. That's my philosophy, and maybe that's not the best way of going about it, but I want people to be comfortable.
I actually think it's quite intelligent because you'll find that in the cigar community, every you have different cultures in different areas in different states. But by you giving the lead to somebody who actually knows their culture is a great opportunity for them to actually just get into that culture and then be able to cultivate that, and create a bigger community that actually believes in them, and then they understand this is a much bigger thing, and then they get super excited because it's like, wow, this is way bigger than I ever thought it could be, and you're telling me that I'm a part of all this. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Well, and
it's great, and I love it for the culture. I love it for the culture because, like you said earlier, that it's been stale for a very long time. It's just been
Yeah,
status quo, and nothing has been progressing. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but a lot of the older gentlemen that's been in the industry for a long time, they're starting to either retire or die off. And we need somebody that's actually going to keep the hobby going. And that's where a lot of these other cigar companies are starting to cater towards the younger generations instead of giving them,
True.
a full body Maduro. The kind of they're coaching their palate to the point where they can get to the point where they can actually be able to smoke a cigar and know exactly what they're smoking. I've been smoking for over 20 years, so my palate is very mature. I'm like Chico. I smoke 6 to 9 cigars a day. Not because I'm stressed, it's just because that's what I enjoy. I don't drink liquor,
yeah.
I don't do drugs, I don't party. Cigars are my hobby. That's what I enjoy doing, and that's where I'm putting a lot of my time, effort, and energy into.
But
Wow.
I don't feel like you. And this is where my big thing is that I don't want people to feel like they need to be able to have a palate. You can be a person that has never smoked a cigar before in your life and join a live or a discussion with us and be able to walk into any cigar lounge, really, in general, and just be able to pick up anything. If you don't like it, that's actually not the point. The point is that you're going to meet a social organization where you can actually find a friend or you can have a discussion with somebody. And, people go through so many hard times in their lives that at one point they might just need to be able to talk to somebody. And who knows what that person is. But usually when they're smoking a cigar, they're going to be humble. They're going to be, just a friend. They're going to have a discussion with you. There's they're not going to fight with you. They're going to understand you. It's like an immediate come in, sit down, and whatever you say, we're going to sit here and smile and nod. And if it's a decent, like if they can get into the conversation and it's not too hostile, because you never know what comes into the lounge sometimes. But still, it's one of those moments where you definitely have an opportunity to be able to meet somebody who's going to give you some either good information or just a heart or an ear to listen to, and which is a huge thing, I think, and that's what we're missing a lot in our world in general.
but let's keep in mind there's two things. Two things. Cigar smokers are probably the most persecuted vice holders there are. We're not as heavily persecuted as a cigarette smoker. We're not as heavily persecuted as those who drink liquor, as a beer drinker, as a rodeo bull rider. We have been so looked down upon and put to the side. Uh, that's that's one end of it. The second thing is cigars are art form, and just like I believe there's no good and bad painting, there's no good and bad movie. That's what sings to you and what doesn't sing to you.
Right.
So you should, and that's why there's 1,000 to 2,000 or 3,000 sticks in a humidor in any lounge, because everyone has a different taste, and you should be able to step into that, find what you like, enjoy what you like, talk to the people who have the same hobby. I like this, they should help guide you to that. They like this, you should help them find that. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's the goal.
definitely.
It's a
That's the
great
That
goal
was
point.
one of
for him.
that was definitely one of my favorite things to do, to be able to teach, or not just teach, but just send somebody around the humidor and show them, like, this is what you like. Okay, this is what I can offer you. And I believe that you're gonna like this. And there was no better satisfaction to hear them say, "Oh my God, this cigar is so good." I'm like, yeah, all
That's
right. I've
Yeah.
never smoked it, but I think that you
right.
would like it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of picky. Sorry.
I think it's important for us to note that in this culture, man, it's what I'm finding in this really quick year or so that I've been in the cigar culture is that no matter what our differences, no matter our backgrounds, our nationality, our religious affiliation, there's one thing that we find commonality in, and that's the leaf. And I
Absolutely.
think as long as we can keep that perspective at all times, I think that this culture is only going to grow. And for me, as a new entrepreneur in the cigar culture, that's what I'm all about. And again, I always say I've been blessed to be a part of this forum with Mel and Carlito. And a couple weeks ago, Carlito pops on with us, pretty regularly. And a couple of weeks ago, he said something that I thought was pretty profound for somebody who's been in the industry as long as he has. I think he had been talking to Jose Blanco, and he was saying how right around PCA time, how they started talking and they realized just how important it was. Kind of speaking to Dee's point about these guys getting older and retiring and dying off, they realized how important it was to embrace the boutique cigar community, um, outside of the mainstream companies, because they are truly the future of the cigar culture. And he made this really great point. He says there was a time, in my career and in my dad's career, basically, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, where at one time they were considered the boutique cigar company, Fuente. And we're right here today celebrating Fuente Friday, which we do on this show every Friday. And to hear him tell a story of about the first time he went to PCA and he didn't get any contracts. And I say that a lot because it really resonated with me. There was a time when Fuente Cigars was a boutique brand. And look at them now. They're a global leader in the cigar culture. And so, like you said, D, earlier, as things are changing, because life is ever changing and it's always about evolving, man, you know Ashhole is a part of that. We're all of us new guys, Mel, you, all of us are part of the evolution of the cigar culture, and we have to handle it responsibly, but remember that it's all about this. And I
Yep.
think if we can do that, this culture is going to grow and be way more than what its founding fathers ever thought it was going to be. And normally I do a final thought, a final draw. I'm gonna make that
Hmm.
it because I was just on a roll there, just telling you my personal feelings. So that was my
Absolutely.
my
Go.
that was my final thought, for the night, or the final draw. I do thoughts of a classic man, and Mel loves it, so she wanted to bring it into the show. And normally I come on and I say I'm about to give you this final thought, but just thinking about what you said, D, it kind of took me there right there. And it's a really important thought, man, that we are the future. All of us are young in this business relatively. We are the future of the cigar culture. Us and people like us that really want to see it grow and really are willing to invest ourselves in it. So hats off to
Wow.
you guys, man. You guys are a group of my idols at this point, because I really got to learn from you guys. Amazing. I got to say it
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
No,
Thank
Amazing
no,
job.
we all learn from each other. We all learn from each other. And that's the whole thing about life. It's all about growth. And if you're stagnant, you're a waste of breath right now, And it's all about forward movement. It's all about helping each other out. And like when we did the show with the professor last
Oh,
weekend, one of the biggest things that I like to talk about is that there I actually had a chance to talk to a gentleman that's in Dubai. I had a chance to talk to a gentleman that's in Spain, in Australia, in Austria. Normally I wouldn't have never ever had a chance to talk to any of those guys. You know, we're living in different times right now, and it's
yeah,
important that we all kind of come together. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your background. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your bank account. All I care about is how well do you love cigars? What can we what can we achieve by coming together? Um, and since we started Asheville Cigar Club, uh, working with Mel here lately, this is what I really love. I love this because this is the first time it's ever happened to us. We've had a chance to sit down with a
aw,
couple other people,
Mel.
but this
Wow.
right here
Wow.
is more meaningful than anything else that we have ever done, period. And I'm going to be 100% honest, and I will go on a record and say that. This is the most meaningful thing that Astro Cigar Club has
Wow.
ever had a chance to do was sit down
Absolutely.
with you two, and as well as Carlito and the professor and the Godfather.
well, that makes a
Wow.
lot. That makes my heart shine because let me tell
Yeah.
you, it took a lot of work. I was like, "Can you give me to? Can you give me to him? Can you give me to him?" And then I'm sitting there one day, and I mean, I say these things, but I don't have any expectations in life. I really
True.
put these things out. I hope that they happen, but I don't sit around going, "Oh my God, they haven't." I don't never think about like I'm just like they'll get to me when they get to me. And he must be a very, very special person because I can't quite get a hold of him. That's kind of what my thought process was. And then I'm sitting there one day and he's like, "Hey," D's like, "I'm that guy." And I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, will you do this and this and that?" Like, it was crazy, but it's so fun, I mean, it's just so awesome to be able to meet all of you guys, see you doing this. I mean, but also understanding that you guys, I mean, you have other jobs, this is not just I do this for a living, so this is my one thing that I have to do, and I'm still bad at getting back to people. So sorry, guys.
You're
But
You,
awesome.
you,
You're awesome.
yeah, you do pretty good, Mel, for what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about Mel, man, let me say this. So I had
oh
the
God.
pleasure of meeting Mel months ago here in Dallas. When she decided she wanted me to be on the show, we met out at Wild Cigars right outside of Fort Worth, and I got a new respect for what she does. And so, she comes on the show. You know me, Mel. I'll put it out there. She comes on the show. She pulls the shirt open a little bit. She talk a little noise. She talk a little noise. She give them
Uh
that
oh.
laugh,
Uh
and
oh.
look here, they go nuts.
Uh
They
oh.
go nuts. But, and I got to
I
put
was
this in
wearing a
there.
dress.
She was wearing a dress. But let me say this. Let me say this. And I said it to Carlito. I said it to him because I wanted him to hear it. I have never, ever seen anybody with the type of work ethic that she has. And so when we're getting ready to film our first live show together in Fort Worth, she comes in, I come in because she's already there. Hell, she's been there all afternoon. I come
Mhm.
rolling in there about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I order a drink. I'm chilling. Shorts on, t-shirt. I'm chilling, man. I get me a cigar. She's working the room the whole time. Then she goes in, she does a live. Then she comes back out. She's meeting with the guys from Placentia and Nathan from Wild Cigars, an amazing gentleman. She's talking to him. Then she comes over and meets me in person. We hug each other because we had only met online. But what I gathered that night is this is a person that is constantly working, and she is way more than a low cut shirt and a pretty smile. She has a work ethic that is unparalleled, man. I know a lot of men they can't handle it like she handles it, man. And I like to tell her that because she likes to minimize. She says the same thing about me that I minimize certain things, but she likes to minimize what she does and what it takes to prepare for these shows. She came on
Oh
my
my
first show
God.
the other night, Wednesday night, man, and I couldn't get sound, and I was ready to cancel the show. Was I not, Mel? I was ready to cancel it. And she was like, "Calm down, man. Take the headphones off. Just go for it. It's gonna work. And we talked for about 3 minutes. All of a sudden, we had Sam, and we had a great show, man. And I posted the show on my page at Chevalier Life, and it was my first conversations with Chevalier with Melody Cisco, and the people loved it. It was great, and then I couldn't wait to get back here tonight so we could do it again. And it's even better because we got you guys on here. But I want you guys to know this young lady right here. Let me get my camera. She grinds harder than anybody that I know.
You haven't met a lot of people. Just
Thank you
kidding.
for
I met plenty. I'm a Marine. I've met everybody. I know. I've met everybody, and let me tell you, they don't. I don't know a lot of them that grind like you do, Mel. A
Well,
lot of the
you
lot
know,
of the people that watch your show don't realize what you put into it.
I gotta admit though, I have a true leader that I get to follow along with. Obviously, Carlito
Yeah,
Fuente is one of just one. Yeah, you know, there's no, I can't express in words how grateful I am for him and what he does for me and the amount of inspiration that he brings to me that does motivate me. Inspiration does motivate a person. So it's unbelievable. And I am so grateful because if I didn't have that, I I wouldn't want to do what I do, but I do believe in the people. It's like it's the people that are out there, and that's what I see in you guys. You guys are not just offering a club where you can sell stuff or be a
exactly.
person of known. It took me a month to be able to just get in touch with you guys. It's not like you are putting yourself out there as if we're the one.
Nope.
There's no clout. Yeah, so I like love that. So that's where it's it's all about the people, and that's what I really love about this. What I get to do is just I hope that I just get to invite people to come and enjoy a cigar and also get to just chat with people. It's not about knowing how it tastes. It's not about knowing the flavors that you're going to get from this cigar. It's not about knowing, I don't want to be a connoisseur or an aficionado or any of that. I just want to be a person that you can come and sit down, relax, and enjoy a cigar with. And if it's on a live show or if it's in person, then you know what, just relax and enjoy life and get to know people, because people really are, you're gonna, if you have more friends than you do, I guess, a paycheck, you're gonna get more with those friends than you are your paycheck.
That's true. I got a question. Where's
Thank you.
Chico?
He
Where
just
did
Where
he
he
where
go?
just sent a text. He just sent me a text, and we're actually having a slight storm here in Arizona right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
so
you
his
mean
his
y'all getting some
internet.
rain?
I didn't. I was like, I didn't push him out. I did not push
Like,
him
where's
out.
Chico? Where'd Chico go?
No, no, he said his internet just got knocked out.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, man, he just broke out on us. What did he have an event? Because he was suited down. I take it he's the one that's out in front all the time, that's putting on a sport coat with the cool glasses and going into the
That's
lounge. And yeah, I can tell.
that's
I
him.
can tell. That's what's up
That's
right there.
Chico.
I think it's safe to say each one of you guys have your individual talents that you collectively utilize to get things done.
Well,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I.
definitely. No, go ahead.
Well, that
No,
I was
we
real quick. I was just gonna say that one of the reasons when I invited Dee to come on, even to the professor show, he's like, I need to invite my two partners. I can't possibly do this alone, which is it's kind of a little bit more difficult to do on StreamYard, to make it look a little bit more, but at the same time, mutual respect for that,
It
and
works.
then,
It works, man. It works. It
well,
works.
viewers or not, this is what's important. So,
It is, and
I,
I would love to continue on with this relationship with you guys. This
Definitely.
is it's something that we all need. Mel, you work a lot. This is our downtime. This is the time where we can kind of just sit back and just be ourselves, and we're not in work mode. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
enjoying this.
I know, right? It's a
It's a
lot of
lot of
fun.
fun. It's a lot of fun, man. I tell you what, I'll put it on out there. I'm gonna have to have you guys on conversations with Chevalier. So we definitely need to connect and take the
Yes, sir.
conversation a little further.
Absolutely.
Again, I want to talk to you guys, and And I know a lot of people out in Arizona, man. I got a lot of customers out there. Most of my humidors that I've sold in Arizona, or shirts and things like that. The Arizona market has been, that was my first customer was out of Arizona, and he's I've had some others. I don't know if you guys know Paul Harris. They call him the Mayor Paul Harris. He does something with
Yes,
50 States
mayor. Yeah,
Vodka.
mayor of Instagram. I
Yeah,
know Paul
yeah,
Harris very
he
well.
that is my guy, man. And when I first started last year, I don't know how we connected on Instagram, but he would get in my inbox, man, and be like, "Hey, man, let me get a hoodie, a T-shirt." He's like, "I'm gonna wear your stuff. I'm gonna post it." And from there, I've had so many guys out there, man, that have supported ChevalierLife.com. So definitely, I want to have you guys on this conversations with Chevalier and just talk to you more. And I want to have a relationship with you guys as well. And
And us
so
as
let's make it happen.
yes.
Well, speaking of Instagram, I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm gonna do it live, and I'm gonna take. If I get rejected, then I get rejected. But if we were to jump onto Instagram right after this and continue the conversation,
Let's
would
do
you
it.
guys
I
would you
won't be
guys
able
be?
to because it rained on.
I'm in my backyard
Ah.
too, bro. I'm in my backyard right now too. I
I,
work just like y'all.
I do want
We
to say
get
before I
no, but I see him getting rained on. No, we don't want that. We should
Yeah.
not get rained on.
before I go, I want to say it's been a heartfelt honor to meet you both. You know,
Thank you.
I want to thank you both for congratulating us on our success. You'll hear a lot more about us. We'll hear a lot more about you. It's been a heartfelt honor to meet you both.
Well,
And
before you go, tell us how we can reach you. Tell us where people can. Do you are you on Instagram? Can people follow you on Instagram? Let everybody know how they can get to you if you do that.
mine is Stone AZ1 on Instagram.
All right, definitely gonna have
Everybody
to
hear that?
follow.
Stone AZ1. Go
Right,
follow Stone AZ1 on Instagram.
please. And we're following you.
All right,
Yeah, we're definitely
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
be
it after
following
Already
you
this.
guys. Wait, let's say that
All right,
again.
brother.
I said, Mel, we're already following you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank
at
you.
Chevalier Life, at Chevalier
I
Life, at
got you.
Chevalier_life, and I'll follow you back tonight.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you both.
sir.
T, I'll talk to
Aw,
you.
thank.
All right, go
Wow.
dry off.
All
Wow.
right,
Go,
bro.
go dry off.
Happy for Wednesday Friday to you, my brother. Man, great
Oh
guys,
my,
man, and your team, man. Great, you guys make a great team, brother.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
absolutely. So yeah, no,
Mel,
we're definitely gonna have to do this again. I know that we're definitely gonna have to do an IG live one day as well. I'm like super
oh
excited
yeah,
about that because that's a whole nother level. You know, when you get on IG and it's just a different because people are able to interact and you can see everybody can see the
right.
comments and you're able to respond back to them, so it's such a different story at that time, which but I know it's hard to do that on StreamYard because you're gonna have to like go to the actual comments and see them, which if you're not a veteran I guess on StreamYard, it's hard to figure that out. But no, there's definitely a lot of people out there right now. I'm reading the comments that are loving all of you guys. They are big, huge fans of yours. But it didn't take being on StreamYard to figure that out. I was walking into lounges and everybody's like, look at my patch, look at my patch, look at my
Oh
patch.
yeah.
And but this is D. I've got one question for you. Can you
Yes, ma'am.
explain, can you explain the nostalgia of the patch? Why is this such a huge deal to guys? I mean, I get it, but
They love
we're
that
gonna put
patch,
that.
man.
Yeah.
They love that patch. I tell you what.
Yeah, I don't know. It started with a couple guys early on. They were like, "We need a patch," and I'm like, "What is a patch?" And they were like, "Well, it's a patch where it just shows the club." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, give me about a week and let me work on the design." Um, and I came up with that design, and then all of a sudden, everybody wanted the patch. So I guess that within cigar clubs, the patches are very valuable because it actually shows that they are a part of something that's bigger than themselves. Um, and I don't know. I really don't know because never in a million years did I ever think that we needed a patch. But
Yeah.
it's been popular, and everybody is loving it. We have a few members where they actually have patches from every single chapter. And you see it on Instagram where they'll post a picture of every single patch that they have from all over the world, and I think that's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah, it
cool
is.
because
That's very
eventually
cool.
they're sharing it with everybody because when you walk into a lounge they're like, this is what I'm part of, this is what I'm part of, and I feel like it's an easy opportunity. So speaking of your logo, all right, and I know that this is gonna be my last question, but your logo, how did you guys come up with the logo and what did you really think that was going to resonate with everybody, which I think that you picked an amazing logo that resonates with everybody. So where did that idea come from?
Just the name asshole, or like the logo that's on the patch.
Well, ash hole, I kind of feel like is something that you could easily. It's like ash hole. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. It's a play on words, but then you came up with the skull. You know, the skull and the whole logo is a pretty big deal in my opinion.
I'm pretty big into skulls. I'm pretty big on just life, period. And excuse me, there's only one thing that's guaranteed in life, and that's death. That's the only thing
Exactly.
that's promised to us. And that's why I love skulls. I got skulls tattooed all over my arm and everything, you know. And and I just look at it as that's the only thing that we're guaranteed in this life is that we're all going to be 6 feet under one of these days. So it just lets us know that while we're here on this earth for such a short period of time, even if you're 160 years old, that's still a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. So while we're here, let's have fun, let's enjoy each other, and let's create.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
definitely a creative. I love just making things,
Yeah.
just making things out of nowhere. So I just want to enjoy life as much as possible before my time is up here on this earth.
I say that all the
Awesome.
time, D. I say that all the time, man. We're here but for a minute, man, and then it's a wrap. So I try not to spend so much time worrying about stuff. I just keep it pushing,
Yeah, yeah.
and live life. I try to, like I tell Mel, I live the Chevalier lifestyle. I smoke the cigar, I sip the whiskey, I sing to the music, and I savor the cuisine. And at the end of the day, what else is there? We have our vices, we
Yep.
enjoy our vices, and we have our religion or whatever that is that we have, and then that's it, man. We're here and then we're gone.
Yes,
They
sir.
cry over you for 2 or 3 weeks and then life goes on. So you got to make the best of it that you can, and
Yes, sir.
that's what we're doing here tonight. We are
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it tonight, Mel. It's a great show tonight. It is for Fuente Friday. I'm excited. I have met the team from Asshole Cigar Club. Amazing night. Amazing
No,
night,
this is
guys.
this is great. I feel good and I'm smiling from ear to ear because it is this is great, and I've been working on this for a long time. And I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I promise I was never gonna say any of this to anybody. And only people that know about this is my wife and my children. A few weeks ago, I was just getting so frustrated. Nothing was working out. I suffer from cluster headaches. And so this is the time of year where they just hit me real hard and they just take me out for months at a time. And I'm trying to design things and get things going with the club. And nothing was working out. And one day I just got so frustrated a couple weeks ago. I smashed the hell out of my laptop and I told my wife, I'm done. I'm done. I was like, I'm trying my best to try to create something, and I just keep falling on my face, keep falling on my face. And 2 days later, I get an email from our vice president, Henry, in California, and he said, "Hey, I don't know if you've seen this message on Instagram, but Melanie is trying to get a hold of you. She wants you to come and do a show." And I'm like, I'm not doing it now.
Did you kick him out?
No, no, he's still there. I did not.
Oh, there he is. We lost you for a second, D.
Yeah, yeah.
We lost.
My phone started ringing. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I was like, I didn't do that. That's funny.
And so I was ready to call it quits. I was ready to just go ahead and just give the club over and let somebody else run it because I was just done. I had nothing else left in me. And then when I got that email, my wife was like, "This is what you've been looking for." And I'm like, "I
Aww.
don't think so." And she was
Wow.
like, "I think this is the one for you." And so when we had that the video meeting last week with all the gentlemen, I cried
The
like a baby
professor
when I
showed.
got home
Wow.
because it
Wow.
was like, okay, at least my hard work is not going in vain, and it's actually showing that you're getting out there. It may not be going as fast as you want it to, or you're not seeing the fruits of your labor right now, but it's happening. And when we spoke to Carlito, I was like, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I know how you
Well,
feel. Can I give you an antidote for that, brother?
yes, sir.
I'm gonna give you something. So my very first thoughts of a classic man my first page was Chevalier Critiques. It was hacked, and I had to start all over some months ago. And I remember how I felt. And so the first thoughts of a classic man I did that very next morning on the new Instagram. I wrote this at 4 a.m. Your setbacks are your setups for your comebacks. And
ooh,
it seems like a very simple premise, but it's very deep when you apply it to the different facets of your life. Your setbacks or your setups or your comebacks. It speaks to how things are always darkest right before the dawn. And you just experienced that because, man, you were ready to give up, man. You were at your darkest point. Anytime a person can sit there and feel that way, and that means you can't see any more progress in what you're doing. And you just, a lot of times you're not there with it, man. But I say that all the time. Every time I get frustrated, I remember that first post, Thoughts of a Classic Man, your setbacks or your setups for your comebacks. Nobody
yeah.
ever progresses without a failure or without a frustration.
And
And I,
also, let's not forget that stars cannot shine without the darkness.
that's right.
You
You got to
have to
be
have.
amongst that darkness, man. You got to, in order for you to shine as bright as you are, you got to be out in the darkness, bro. And
Yeah.
so I would challenge you, man, not to whenever you do that, if you can remember that, think about that. It works for me on the daily. Like I said, I only been here a year and I've seen all types of stuff, but my trajectory has been like this because of people like Mel and Carlito for whatever reason. Because
Hmm.
I've never thought I've done anything special other than come on the lives every now and then and just talk about what I'm doing, just being me.
Yeah.
What
Well,
you
that's the
guys
most
see is
important
me.
part, though, is
And
you
uh
being
and
you.
and you D man, you guys, Chico, Jay, man, you guys are phenomenal. Like I get such a good feeling about you guys, man, just and having this conversation tonight. And when me and Mel, when she brought me on here, she said one of the reasons that she brought me on here is because of how I am about just talking to people, and and
Totally.
and not trying to seem like I'm the smartest guy because I know the least about cigars as a whole. When you sit here and think of the type of people that I'm having conversations with, they forgot more than I'm learning, that
Well,
I'm gonna
that's the
learn.
whole. That's my whole point is that you're not about you're. I think it says a lot when you're about the people, and what you had to say whenever I first, found him as a co-host. I'm like, he actually is very has a lot of good thoughts. And so it was more or less like, let me bring in somebody who has good information just about people, good points to make, just giving them an idea of how people should be. There's so many people out there who I think find themselves lost or, in ruts. And it's about keeping a positive idea, positive mind, a positive, and it just takes somebody that maybe smoking a cigar. Same. That's my whole point is then you walk into a lounge and you'll find a lot of really interesting people or an amazing opportunity to just talk to somebody that you really will find some good information from or just a positive input, and maybe you go home feeling amazing about yourself and the next day you go and kill it in
Yeah.
whatever it is you're doing.
Every day in your life, man, I feel is an opportunity. And D, you've probably like me got the old grandmother, that talks. You know how in our community they do things, and they say, my grandmother used to say to me all the time, everything you should do, you should be ministering to somebody else's spirit with
Hmm.
your
Yes.
own. And the way you do that is not an intentional thing. It's just you being you, and being affable and listening, man, and feeling and understanding and sympathizing, you know, and through that you grow because of what you give. That's your
Hmm.
growth. It's not about what you receive, but it's what you give in order to grow. So just remember that one, brother. Your setbacks are your setups for your comebacks, man. Every time you get that setback, you know you're gonna jump a higher hurdle, man. And hell, I don't know what higher hurdle that you can jump than asshole, brother. I'm sorry, you guys are everywhere. I saw one, a guy from asshole Indonesia started following me a couple of weeks ago, and then like 20 other guys from asshole started following me. I was like, where are they not? Like, Oklahoma, where are they not?
Oh
Australia,
yeah.
you guys got people everywhere, So, brother, keep jumping the hurdles, man. Don't stop. The only thing you're gonna have to do is stop smashing up laptops, and you're gonna get put out the house. You keep smashing laptops, you get put out. I'm telling you. You making them the new laptop credit card purchases to get you put out the
Right.
house, man. I know it will my house. That's all I got.
All
No,
right, D. So, D, you know what? Just to go ahead and leave us with something that, what, I would love for you to, be our outro, and go ahead and just tell people like where they can find you, maybe even how they could even join or be a part of a chapter, where maybe there's a website or something that they can go to and become a part of this group, because I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that.
definitely. A lot of our activity is done on Instagram. You can go to the search bar and you can type in Ashho Cigar Club, and it's going to bring up all the different chapters that are actively that's on Instagram. If you can't find them on Instagram, you're more than welcome to go to ashocigarclubs.com on our website, and there's a members form that you can fill out. And that members form is actually being monitored every single day. So you can go there and you can fill out the form, and somebody will be in contact with you within 5 days.
Nice.
Wow. Wow.
That's
And if
good.
people want to follow you on Instagram, man, how do they find you?
To be honest with you, I don't even have a personal Instagram. Uh,
What?
no, I
So
don't.
somebody else runs that Instagram, because I know who I'm contacting. It does say your name.
Because I started it, but it just got to the point where because I'm not into social media like that. I realized
uh,
it's an important tool for every business. But I can't be out there every single day like some of these guys do. Some of these guys they post 10 pictures a day every single day, and I don't have the energy for that. So our Instagram page is monitored by our vice president. Um, and our president. So they're actually checking out on our Instagram pages daily.
That's awesome, because then if these guys, if anybody out there is listening right now, or they are listening, but if you guys go to Ashhole Cigar Club without, and I think it's just Ashhole Cigar Club, is it company? But it's like if you just go to that actual Instagram, you will find them, and it does say Deontay Evans. So if you go to that one, I'm sure that there are other people out there that will be able to help you find the group that you need to definitely contact. So
Yes,
good.
definitely.
definitely. Definitely.
And because we have 40 chapters here in the United States, and we have 20 in different countries. Um,
Wow.
and it's growing daily, definitely. But not everybody that applies to become a chapter president, they're not going to get it, because we're looking for like-minded people, people that's actually going to be here for the club and that's looking to grow the club, and that's what we're really looking for. We're not asking for you to spend full-time hours with trying to grow the club, but just being somewhat active with trying to get like-minded people together in your city and state. That's all we can ask for.
All right,
Well,
D. Well,
absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. Dee, for coming on here. I mean, this has been a lot of
Yes.
fun, and I wish that I was able to give a promo before this, but we made it. We just we're definitely gonna have to have you on again. I feel like with a lot of certain
Yeah.
questions because I know people are wanting Q&A, which a lot of times I just want to just chit chat, because I
Yeah.
feel like the Q&As are left for, okay, you guys, if you don't know, the Professor Show was amazing, which these guys were on last Sunday. So if you guys don't know, go to, it was last Sunday, right? I was
Yeah. It
thinking,
was last Sunday.
Yes.
yeah.
Last Sunday.
All right. So last Sunday, go and check out www.facebook.com/, the Professor Show. Plus, you can also catch them on YouTube. It's tinyurl.com/, the Professor Show. So you'll be able to find all of those shows there. You can watch them all. But last Sunday was definitely the Asheville Cigar Club. It was an amazing interview. They were fabulous. So you're definitely going to be able to learn a lot. But if you guys don't know that show and you want to learn about cigars, that is definitely the cigar show that you need to go and watch. It is full of amazing people, including this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will be able to find um, Javier Blanco. So that's
Wow.
yeah, he
Yeah.
is an amazing uh, I want to say journalist. Yeah, so he's a journalist that is from the UK and has done a lot of work with the cigar industry. So it was a really another amazing show that's going to be on this Sunday. So every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find it at the Professor Show on Facebook or on YouTube at tinyurl.com/, the Professor Show.
Cool. Cool. No,
And then,
and I look forward to doing an Instagram live with you.
Oh yeah.
yes,
Oh yeah. We definitely got to make it happen. I'm
Next
gonna.
be
time.
I'll get you.
careful. Well, I just you don't have to stop talking, but like, okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna bring up the Newlywed Game between all of you guys because I love that game. So just be careful
Oh
because we're
shit.
gonna have.
Oh shit. Cause I know you,
we're
Mel. I know
I know
you. I know you.
we're gonna find out how much they know each other.
All right.
Oh shit. All
That's cool.
right. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Cool.
And hey, AD, I'm gonna get your info from Mel, and I'm gonna talk to you. I would love to have you guys on the episode of Conversations with Chevalier.
Yes,
And
sir.
like I said, we have conversations, about cigar life, but we also have conversations over cigars. So, it's an opportunity for people to get to know you guys and for us to get to know one another and continue to build the culture, man. Because there's so many things, like Mel said, that happens in the lounges and I definitely want to talk to you. So I'm gonna get your information from her, and I'll reach out to you. And we'll plan something.
Let's do it.
Yes,
Let's.
sir. Yes, sir. It has
Awesome.
been a pleasure talking to you guys tonight.
Oh no, it's.
Yay.
I've been enjoying it, and I look forward to continue on with our relationship because you guys are awesome. You guys
Thank
are.
you.
This is what the industry needs.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think they're gonna start a chapter in the DR,
I think
which
so.
I'm excited about that. So yes. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm so like just thrilled that you were able to grace us, like, yeah, bring your presence here and your two partners. We love them too as well. You guys have a lot to offer to the community, and just just the fact that you gave us this time is amazing. So thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
No,
you so much.
thank you guys. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, you too,
We
man. I'll be
will.
talking to you soon.
All right, now have a good one.
All right, happy
Bye,
Fuerte
guys.
Friday, everybody.
Right. Thank you. We'll be here every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's a little late, but guess what? You can catch this show every time that you go to my Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
and go over to my Facebook page too. I'm gonna post it too. It's Yule Neal, Yuelneal. Chevalier's my middle name, but Yule Neal, Yuelneal. Send me a friend request or follow the page, and you'll be able to find the last draw on my page as well.
Absolutely. And you do give such great information. I cannot be more grateful. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, buddy. We have a love fest for the last 2 or 3 minutes every day. Before we get off here, we got this little.
I know, right? Stop it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's cut it off. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Have a great
everybody. Have a
Friday
great
night.
weekend. Happy 4th Day Friday.